everybody! Welcome, everyone in here, out there, to an Alfonso Nation original Teletran Creatorverse. I'm your host, Alfonso Peterman. This is simply a web show that will seek to expand on the most influential contributors in the Transformers entertainment industry, shedding light on their greatest inspirations, challenges, and future hopes. I hope everybody's doing well, obviously, with this growing pandemic and everyone staying home and being safe. I know that it's a challenging time for a lot of us, so I can only hope that this web show can plant a little seed of entertainment in your world. My guest tonight is one of the first and well-respected Transformers content creators on YouTube. That's right. His movie updates and trailer reaction videos during the Michael Bay live-action Transformers franchise are a source of nostalgia for coming-of-age fans all over the world. I couldn't think of anybody else to start this series premiere with, so without further ado, it is my honor to welcome the Ragin Nation himself, Alex Yu. Alex, how you doing, my good sir?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you for that epic intro, and thank you for holding me in such a high regard. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, you obviously have a lot of notability. You know, a lot of people look up to you and appreciate your work, and I'm one of them.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. So from what I've seen, you've really been building up your collection display, I think, and going on like movie binges recently.
Yes.
Are you enjoying the quarantine, or are you ready to get out there?
You know, it's very interesting because last year it really changed me in the sense that I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but I'm getting used to staying home because I'm enjoying playing Call of Duty with you, enjoying the binges on the streaming platforms like Netflix, enjoying all the movies, watching at home, and it's just working out at home as well. So I've gotten so used to this. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. It's good in the sense that I've gotten used to it. It's bad that I'm not doing more things outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing is that we have restrictions over here in Vancouver. We're not allowed to dine inside, so we have to do takeout only, and the theaters aren't open. So the two things that I love to do is, we're restricted from doing that. So
yeah, our theater's open, but it's very strange hours. So it's like they're open only on Tuesdays and weekends. It's a weird layout, but
at least they're open.
Yeah, of course. I can relate to that. Obviously, one of my favorite hobbies would be to obviously go to theaters, and so I can definitely feel the loss there. So the last time we did a formal collab was back in 2017. Actually, today is the official 4-year anniversary of today.
Wow!
4th anniversary of our collaboration, and even before that, obviously we've been in good relationship since like the Ragin Review 2011. How have you been since then? I mean, it's been a lot of things that have kind of evolved since then.
A lot has changed in terms of the channel, the content, and myself. And I think it's kind of like a reboot for myself because I'm waiting for new Transformers content to come out, because that's the foundation of my channel. That's the foundation of the Ragin Nation. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
With no real, the content's coming, but with no like major content coming out during these movie updates or these journey to TF5, TF6, TF7, and so forth, without constant movie updates, it feels like there's an emptiness. Mm-hmm. So between Transformers Last Night to now, even though there was Bumblebee, the updates just it wasn't on the same level of Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction to Last Night. So there's still a little bit of emptiness. I'm waiting for that spark, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for that to come back, that magic to come back. And I want it to come back because I feel it from the fans, and I love that enthusiasm. It's infectious. When I see them enthusiastic about it, I want to create more content.
And that actually leads me into my first question. I know you've been steadily gaining more momentum, obviously, as we approach new Transformers movie production and direction. But aside from recent news, what do you hope to that these films that are incoming? What do you hope they will bring to the franchise, and how should fans approach the entire new concept of a potential Beast Wars films or even unconventional storylines? How should fans approach this new environment?
That's a good question. I think that the only way to do it is with an open mind, and also remembering that regardless, this is still Transformers. That's the main idea. That's all it is. This is still Transformers, but in just only a slightly different form. I don't believe, and I 100% do not believe it's going to be that much different. I know a lot of people are freaking about Beast Wars. I get it. All right. And not a lot of people grew up with it. I didn't myself. I didn't even watch it. You haven't watched it, but I'm urging fans to really give this next movie, this upcoming film, a chance, because based on the most recent information, it's not a full-on Beast Wars movie. It's not Beast Wars translated into live action. It's not taking place 65 million years ago, and we're seeing dinosaurs. It's not that. Right. The movie takes place in New York. It takes place I think it takes place in the 90s. And it's a sequel to Bumblebee. So therefore, they're bringing back Bumblebee. They're bringing Optimus Prime back. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because that's where Bumblebee left off. And when they claim that this is a sequel to it, I'm going to go with that. It's got a $200 million reported budget. So Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, Age of Extinction, Last Night, all had those kind of monstrous budgets. We know what kind of film we can expect from a movie of that size and caliber.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a good safety net to be in, to just go into something new with an open mind. Because if you go into something different and new without all the information about what we're getting into, with pre-created expectations, you almost set yourself up for a level of disappointment if those expectations are not met. I think what you said is perfect in going, just giving it a chance, even though it's not something that we're used to. Part of transforming is changing, and we have to adapt as well as the franchise adapts.
Absolutely.
So you've obviously been doing this for a while. I think it's been 10 years, I believe.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for I started in April or May or June of 2010. Basically, when Dark of the Moon started filming, doing principal photography in the summer or late spring of 2010, that's when I started Ragin Review, my original channel, and that was I think almost 11 years ago.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's big. That's good. But looking back, what would you advise young Alex on what to do differently as opposed to what you actually did?
Wow. Wow. That's a really good question. I never really thought about what I would do differently.
It's a hard hitter, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I can rephrase it, would you advise them, like a young Alex, differently?
Oh, okay. Would I advise a young Alex differently? You know what? I wouldn't. I wouldn't advise young Alex to do anything differently, because I'm happy with the way everything turned out. I'm happy that it inspired a lot of people, and I'm happy that it inspired other Transformers fans to want to start a channel and do the same thing. I'm happy about receiving all the words of encouragement, excitement, the praise and the compliments. I'm very happy about that. It does come with negative feedback, but negative feedback means you're doing something right, okay? Right. Because you cannot expect, if you get nothing but good feedback, then in some weird ways, it's actually kind of detrimental, because you think you're perfect, all right? It gives you the idea that you're perfect. I actually take negative criticism, like criticism, not hateful comments. Okay, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Criticism and negative criticism, I actually take that to heart, and I look at them in ways that, is it something that I should really change? I actually put thought into it, right? In any case, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I don't think that I need to give young Alex other advice. Now, on the other hand, if I were to do something differently, I would just make the background, the setup a little bit more clean looking. That's about it.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think the way that you developed the channel, the way that everything grew was very genuine, very organic. It was very Alex. Now, was there any moment during the Michael Bay direction that you felt a personal obligation to create content? Or was it all desire or pure freelance hobby? Did you feel like, oh, so this event happened, and because I'm expected, I am the updater? Did you feel obligated to create from that moment?
You know, that is another really good question, actually, because first of all, I love doing the updates. I enjoy doing the updates. I love reacting to all these different trailers. You watch my Dark of the Moon ones. You watch my Age of Extinction ones. Like I just want to keep on pumping them out, right? And at no point in time did it ever feel like I felt obligated to come out with something.
Okay.
Now, I will be completely honest, though. There were times where I just put out a big update, and then a small update came out somewhere. All right. Now I have to talk about it. Okay. So like and then people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I just saw a video from Alex yesterday, and there's another one today. I'm so happy, right? And like that's a very, very positive comment, but there was work involved, right? Because when I put out a video, I don't just want to put out a 1-minute video and say, like, oh, hey guys, Ragin Nation here. Got a new update, blah, 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 blah. That's what's happening. What are your thoughts? Comment below. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I actually want to create, like, let's say the update's only one sentence. I want to turn it into a discussion.
You want to expand it.
I want to expand it. I want to share my thoughts. I want to talk about the origins of this update. I want to put speculation on it. So there is extra work involved. It's not just about reporting. That's the only time where I felt obligated, and I felt like, oh man, okay, now I got to put out another video.
I've been there for sure.
It's still fun though.
It's still fun. It's still fun. Now let's take a moment and reflect on 2017, which we know was the Transformers: The Last Night. It was the big, I would even call it like a big drop in. Well, not really a drop so much, but more of a shift. There was a major shift, and it kind of divided a lot of us internally within the community. We had some who still appreciated it, some who absolutely outraged, some who were in the middle. But as a person, as yourself, with moderate influence, obviously, in the community, did you feel any weight at all on how to address your concerns on the film as someone that people look up to? Given that you've gave an unpleasant feedback on the film, did you feel that weight of what that would mean? How did you interpret the way that you delivered that to the people?
Yeah, I was a bit I was a bit messed up from the not just the film.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the film. I didn't feel. I mean, I felt messed up from that, but also I felt a little bit messed up in internally, in the sense that, okay, I just gave a tanking review for this film. Now what am I going to do about the rest of my channel? Like, I felt like a huge weight about, well, there's a bunch of people that look up to me, and some of them have sent me really, really deep messages about how my channel was very positively influential to them. It helped them make their days brighter. And so there was this responsibility. So that's why I decided to create that little mini series called About Last Night. Right? Let's talk about last night. And that was basically talking about just salvaging good things about this film and talking about them. And I felt like I found a middle ground where I can be truthful about.
That's good.
As much as I don't like the film, I will always respect Michael Bay as a filmmaker because there's a lot of work involved in making these monstrous films.
Mm-hmm.
And I want him to do better for his future. So I cannot hate a person, a creator, because of one film that I didn't feel good about.
And that's a more mature stance than what many have chosen to take. A more mature path than others have taken and still decide to take. Speaking of Michael Bay, we all know the momentous impact this man has had on the continuity of the Transformers universe. The G1 series, creating the live action films and moving it up and literally creating this whole thing. We would probably wouldn't be here talking if that were the case. Had he not directed the live action films from 2007, do you think Transformers would have even gained the following and the interest that it does today? Or would someone else be able to replicate that kind of momentum? Was he the right guy because of his action and because of creating films that are only fun, not really story driven, but bringing everybody in, even those who are not interested? Or could someone else have done that?
Oh boy, I have two ways to look at this. This is something I thought about before, and that is, I am glad that Michael Bay did what he did because he gave us a foundation. He gave us Transformers in live action. Nobody had any idea what Transformers in live action would end up being like. As a matter of fact, Michael Bay at some point in time wasn't about to direct this film, but Steven Spielberg, he really he put faith in Michael Bay and gave him a lot of freedom, and that freedom is what gave him that I guess that encouragement to make the film. And then we got Bumblebee, which a lot of G1 fans love. Okay, so what I mean from all of this is that he created a foundation for us. Whether we love it or hate it, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, now starting with Bumblebee, we are getting a new version of Transformers. And whether people feel Bumblebee is a reboot or sequel doesn't even matter. But the fact is that it's going towards a direction where it could be a balance between those Michael Bay fans and the G1 fans, and ultimately pleasing everybody. It's highly possible that the next film coming up could be that film to please everybody.
You're right. You're
on a wider perspective. The fact is that any director could have done anything. If they were given the freedom, just like they were given Michael Bay, it would have still been an amazing film, because let's say it was a bad movie, okay? You still got to see giant freaking robots, okay? And that in itself was probably enough to make fans excited and want to see more. Because when I watched the Michael Bay film, it wasn't the Transformers I wanted, but I still got crazy excited because it created something new for me. It brought me back to being a kid, but also created a new sensation for me, an experience for me.
Well, that's good. I obviously think that others obviously could have made that same energy, could have created that same environment. He did it in his own way, and I'm glad anybody did it, obviously, because we are where we are today because of it. So I definitely agree with that. So let me just ask you this, just kind of circling back to the Ragin Nation. If the live-action films just decided to come to a complete halt, what do you envision for the future of the Ragin Nation? Would you move on to other hobbies like Ragin Runner Review, or would you explore other avenues of Transformers content creation? Would you shift it, would you end the Ragin Nation, or would you just convert it into other creative methods?
First of all, Paramount will not stop making Transformers.
Oh yeah, okay? Obviously. Yeah.
Okay. Second, that would really suck for a lot of fans, but for me, I would have to just find a way to rework the channel and find a way to keep it alive. But the third thing is that I would totally find new Transformers content to talk about. I will still love Transformers. I will revisit the movies. I will I will talk about more toys, not just Transformers toys, but toys in general. And I would even maybe, if that really happened, like permanently, which is like crazy to even think about, I would bring my followers from Ragin Rona Review to come back to the Ragin Nation channel, and that would probably end the Ragin Rona Review channel and just have one channel. It just wouldn't make sense to keep two channels when there's no content from the movie universe to bring forth.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, just kind of consolidate everything into one. Now, another passion of yours I notice is movie watching in general. You will sit there and watch, yes, you will binge movies. Not really specifically Transformers. You watch a bunch of other movies. Where did that passion come from? And do you think that was the source of your interest in Transformers and Marvel?
My interest in movies comes from my dad. He loves watching movies. He's more. I'm of course way more passionate about movies than he was, because of course back when he was a movie fan, there's limited resources available. Now we got digital, we got Blu-ray and DVD, and the accessibility to go to a theater before COVID was so easy, right? In any case, yeah, I've always been a movie fan, and that was because my dad took me to the theaters. When I was really young, he took me to R-rated movies. He took me to like, even in his spare time, he would just take me to a movie that I didn't care to watch because he wanted to watch the movie. But it was that kind of those kind of activities, the movie watching activity, that just constantly created a more like a nostalgic thing about it. And that was, I can say that my dad loved taking me to the movies. The thing is that, in the real world, we are dealing with all kinds of real world problems, okay? A lot of good things, but a lot of bad things. I see movies as escapism. And that's the way everybody should see movies as, right? It's a way to get away from reality and see these characters that we would never see in real life right in front of us. And we just live their lives for 2 hours. So that's why I love movies.
Same here. I completely match up with that.
Yeah.
It's an escape. It's a wonderful escape. I have 2 more questions for you. Now, to the many viewers watching, a lot of the people in the community who see you as an icon of nostalgia, they see you as somebody they look up to, and especially with all the long time that you've been here, is there any advice that you would have for them who may want to start creating but may not know where to start, or may want to get really more involved in the community? What advice would you give to those people watching?
I would tell those future creators to do exactly what I did, and that is make these videos because you want to express yourself as yourself. All right, don't be someone else. Don't think of it as a you're trying to prove something to somebody, or trying to prove yourself to other creators. Be yourself. You do you. That's what I've been doing from the very, very beginning. And to this date, I'm still doing that. I've never changed my format. And that maybe I've changed a few things, but at the end of the day, it's still me talking about a piece of information that I read and then expanding upon it for like 15 minutes. Have some, decent talking points. But other than that, just be yourself, because maybe one day you will be outed as somebody is copying somebody else, and then you're not going to know who to be next.
Last question for you.
Yeah.
This is going to be a deeper one. As we hear commonly mentioned in the MCU, part of the journey is the end. So, at the end of the Ragin Nation's journey, hopefully a long ways from now, what would you want to be remembered for? What do you want the legacy of Alex Yu, the Ragin Nation, to be?
Honestly, it's really not that complex. It's really just the last 10 years, or rather the last 3 journeys. Because I look back at Dark of the Moon updates, Age of Extinction updates, and Last Night updates, and I feel like nostalgia even. Like I get excited. I rewatched the Dark of the Moon updates recently, and I felt like the movie's coming out again. right? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't wait to watch the movie back on Blu-ray because I built it up so much. And then when I do these behind the scenes updates, right? I appreciate the movie so much more because I know what went on to making the movie. And there's that part that they were making, and now there it is on screen. So what I want to be a legacy is that in some ways I created this community of fans that wanted to get more out of the journey. You know what I mean? It's not just reading updates. It's not just going to certain websites and movie websites and just reading about it and talking about it. No, it's watching my videos and then joining the discussion on the comments section. And then I'll take those comments and I'll even talk about those comments and then create an interactive experience. That's the legacy that I want to be remembered by, and that is the reactions, the enthusiasm, the excitement about these videos, the good reviews, the bad reviews, all that stuff.
Well, I will say for sure that you're already there.
Thank you.
People always, when they think of the Ragin Nation, that's what comes to their mind. That
awesome.
Guy that would freak out over the films and that would give you the best updates and would really kind of almost take you along the anticipation journey. And it was almost like a family that you've built.
Yes.
And that's why you're commonly respected, and that's why I had to have you on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so happy that I've been along the way. I've been able to make friends with this journey, yourself included. And then when I've gone to Transformers conventions, I've been still able to keep in touch with a lot of friends that I've made along the way. And it's pretty awesome. I wouldn't have met these people had it not been for my video updates.
Let's go. Well, man, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was truly an honor. We did it again. I mean, it's been 4 years.
It's been 4 years. Maybe one day, sooner than later, I hope, maybe I'll be interviewing you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much for being here, guys. The Ragin Nation, one of the most freaking awesome people in the YouTube Transformers community. Go subscribe to his YouTube, follow his Instagram, and follow his Twitter, and keep up with him and all of his amazing freak-out journeys and updates.
Thanks,
Ragin Nation, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, all right.
Take care.